Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Winner 100, spelled WINR 100, intentionally misspelled, making sure you people know that. Anyway, so I am a new reader here on the Doompie Network. Oh, how joyous it is to be on here. You guys have no idea. I listened to the Doompie Network plenty, and now I'm actually on it. Wow, dear God, I didn't see this coming. But it came. And here it is. My first official reading to be uploaded to the channel. I am a happy sandwich. You get the idea. Anyway. So, just little heads up on the pauses in between. When I ramble on like this, as I'm assuming everyone else does for their intros, I tend to pause a little bit here and there, unintentionally. It just happens, and, bleh. But, also, I will occasionally put in little bits of commentary here and there, but that's just kind of a force of habit. So, I'm going to refrain from doing it too much, though. So now, let's get on with the story. Called Pinkie Pie Destroys a Classic Muscle Car Just to Make a Bad Pun. By Always Dresses in Style. This is, probably I think it's a really good one to start with, considering it's only about 1,100 words, and after, reading the first little bit of it, I just thought, yeah, I'm gonna read this now. Thank you. So, as soon as I hydrate myself, we are going to delve into this. And trust me, it's weird. But that's half the fun. The recently constructed Crystal Empire Coliseum was filled to capacity by cheering throngs of ponies from all over Equestria. All of them were there for one reason: to cheer on their hometown heroes as they competed for the gold. Ponyville was no exception. Though, as a small town competing against major cities like Canterlot, Manhattan, Las Pegasus, and Philadelphia, some of their teams had been filled with ponies of dubious athletic talent. While Rainbow Dash could easily win the relay race solo, it was a team event and neither of her teammates was as strong a flyer as she was. The same could be said for many of Ponyville's other competing teams. One team had even needed to recruit Pinkie Pie to complete their roster. Each pony would be competing separately, but they needed to enter 3 ponies, no more, no less. Her teammates had already taken their turns, and neither was in contention for a medal. So Ponyville's hopes rested solely on the party planner's withers. However, she was nowhere to be found. With disqualification looming mere seconds away, a low rumbling could be heard outside the arena. A bright red muscle car burst through the gates and Pinkie Pie revealed herself to be the driver. She gunned the motor, and it responded with a throaty roar. Sunlight gleamed off the bulging front fenders as she took a lap around the track, smashing hurdles as she went. She rolled down the driver's side window and waved a hoof at the crowd as judges trailed after her, screaming for her to stop. Once her lap around the track was completed, she pulled the car into the infield and started doing donuts. The officials, who had been chasing her only moments earlier, found themselves diving for cover as clods of dirt and grass were thrown in all directions. Pinkie cut the engine and crawled out through the window, partially because she wanted to imitate the Duke boys, but mostly because the door handles really weren't designed for hooves. "What is the meaning of this?" Miss Harshwinny demanded. "Oh, I thought I'd just make a stylish entrance. Get the crowd pumped up a bit." Miss Harshwinny looked over the crowd. Every colt and stallion was cheering and pumping their hooves into the air repeatedly. Young fillies on the other hoof were nuzzling their mothers and crying. "This is not professional wrestling, Miss Pie. Your antics have completely decimated our field." I apologize for the crappy high-pitched voice, but kinda can't do that kind of thing anymore. Pinkie waved a hoof dismissively. It's grass. I'm pretty sure it'll grow back.
That's not the point. The point is that we have a competition going on here, and we're trying to remain professional.
Pinkie cocked a head quizzically. But you just said this wasn't professional, and if it isn't professional, then it must be funfessional, and funfessional is fun.
As much as I'd like to disqualify you, there's no rule against destroying the field of play.
Woo! I love loopholes!
Be that as it may, I assure you that particular loophole will be closed by the time the next Equestria Games rolls around 4 years from now.
Pinkie patted Harshwinny's back. That's okay, I'll find some new ones. Don't you fret. It wouldn't be any fun to use the same ones over and over again anyway. That gets, super boring and junk. Miss Harshwinny rolled her eyes.
And what precisely is this monstrosity?
She motioned to the bright red muscle car. Flat black stripes, a black vinyl roof, and Goodyear polyglass GT tires with raised white letters and red lines completed the look. This is a car.
And where's your javelin?
Right here. This is a 1971 AMC Javelin. It's got a 401 cubic inch V8 motor, Go package, and the owner swapped in a Pierre Cardin interior from a 1973 model Javelin.
And you intend on throwing this, Miss Pye?
Absolutely dootly.
How much does this thing weigh?
Pinkie Pie pulled a portable truck scale out of nowhere and pushed the javelin onto it. 3,244 pounds.
While a standard javelin weighs less than 2, if you want to handicap yourself, then by all means don't let me stop you.
Oh, I won't. Pinkie swung her flank around and bumped Miss Harshwinny all the way into the cheap seats. She started posing in classic bodybuilder position and flexed her muscles. My 6.6 is a little too heavy, but only if you're a big boss Ford or a 350 Chevy. For me, though, this thing's as light as a feather. So, who wants to see me throw a javelin really, really, totally far? Give me a great big Tartarus, yeah! Tartarus, yeah! Came the roar of the crowd. All right, you asked for it. Pinkie grinned as she slipped underneath the car. Soon the javelin was precariously hanging from her right front hoof. She brought her foreleg back, and then snapped it forward suddenly. The car soared into the air. All eyes were on it as the javelin flew through the air in ways the American Motors Corporation never intended it to. It easily surpassed the mark set by the javelins thrown by other ponies, and just kept going and going, right out of the arena and over the horizon. The explosion was large enough to make a Ford Pinto jealous, and as the resonant shock waves rushed over the crowd and rained parts of the demolished car down upon the gathered ponies, a Goodyear polyglass GT tire bounced down to the field and eventually rolled to a stop behind Pinkie Pie. Miss Harshwinny grabbed a tape measure and measured from the starting point back to the wheel.
-3 yards, 2 feet, 7 inches. Congratulations, Miss Pye. You've set a new record for futility.
But the javelin landed miles away from here.
Perhaps, but I can't measure what I can't see.
The crowd started to boo and pelt Miss Harshwinny with popcorn, cups of lukewarm cider, peanuts, and ice-filled soft drinks. Pinkie Pie got as many of the snacks as she could and started munching on them happily. May not be a gold medal, but this does make a good consolation prize. Okay, I know I messed up quite a bit in that, but, it's just... I'll get better. I will get better in the future, I hope. Probably. Maybe. I will, I guess. So, what did I think of this story? Well, it was certainly interesting. And it's, only about 10 minutes worth of reading. It only has about 233 views, 21 likes, make that 22. And I liked it. It was short, sweet, to the point, and, you actually have to look past the, you actually have to look at the context to get the title, because she's supposed to use a javelin, so she uses a car called the Javelin, so, just in case you couldn't catch that. I didn't catch that until one of my friends at school pointed that out to me. Anyway, but it certainly was, regardless of being really short, I really did like it. And again, I will get better and make less mistakes. I have had to edit out some things already, so yeah, there will be many more readings coming from me in the future. Probably. Yeah, there will be. Count on it. But, not exactly too many at once, because I'm not allowed to do a lot to, overthrow the channel with my own material, and I don't think I would want to in the first place. But, so, yeah. This was my first reading. I am open to criticism, but don't be a douche. As much as I would enjoy constructive criticism on what I could do better with my readings, besides doing a better high-pitched voice, because that's not going to happen. But, other than that, constructive criticism on maybe what I could actually do better would help. And as far as messing up, it's kind of can't be helped, but I did kind of try to make it to a minimum. And so, yeah, I think I've talked long enough now. And, indeed. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever. Farewell.